Well, everybody, I don't want to delay anymore. We're already running quite a bit behind time, so let's jump over to the game reveal for game number 2. Come on, Crappy. Oh, the Horde, they're looking. Say hello to the wonderful GM who's not going to scar anybody at all, Jeff XVX. Oh, Jeff, how you doing?
Hello, Rosencha and chat. I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, doing great. I'm very excited to have you here. It's always a fun time.
Thank you. It's always great to be here, and I think we have a really solid game picked out for today.
Okay, solid, not liquid or gas. That's a good state for the game to be in.
Yeah, it is so solid that I don't think our competitors are going to get very far through it.
Okay.
But let me. Are we
I'm
ready?
ready. Yeah, let's reveal the game.
All right, this is called Kong's Revenge. It is for DOS from 1991.
I'm a little bit confused what this girl is doing. Is she just like showing off her butt? Oh, I guess she's chained up, but like to something that's not attached to a wall or anything. It's just, I don't know. That's weird.
She's chained up, and then her boyfriend Mike is booping Kong.
Okay. Gotta boot. Yeah, punch him in the nose. Yeah, take that, nerds.
Yeah. So this is it says Amstrad. This is not going to be the Amstrad version.
What?
They're getting a much better version, which is the DOS one. It has improved graphics, so I think everyone will like seeing that one a little bit better.
Perfect. Well, good. I'm just waiting for the players to go live so that I can capture them and get everything ready. If I do stream after the match today, by the way, I'm going to stream some more Castlevania DOS. I'm trying to decide if I feel ready for a little bit more of that. I love DOS ports of games, though. And compared to Amstrad, it actually could be a better port if it was like compared to NES. There's no guarantee. But compared to Amstrad, yeah, I'd say that this is going to be better. That's my hope, anyway.
Thank you to Jeff XVX for the sub.
Oh my gosh, Jeff! What the heck? Thank you so much. Yeah, also thank you for thanking yourself. Seriously, though, thank you, everybody, for supporting the stream. We do give out over $2,000 worth of prizes when we get to the bracket, and I like to increase it as much as I'm able to whenever we get to that point, so every little bit does help. It also helps me eat and hopefully pay off some medical bills, so it is very much appreciated. Now, with that said, I'm working to try to get this going over here, and I don't see everybody streaming yet.
So I don't know if you want to capture audio. It has no music, but it does have
I do want to capture audio.
It has sound effect.
I like sound effect. Sound effect, good effect.
And I say that in the singular because there is only one. It is the jump.
Uh-oh. Okay.
We might have brief technical delay.
That's fine. Also, it looks like there's a different player than before, so I'm going to have to refresh this. Okay. That's okay, I can do it. No. What the crap? For some reason, my spreadsheet sometimes just likes to randomly say that Flynn Church is the player. Like, it often likes to tell me that Flynn Church is the player. I don't know why. My spreadsheet is a very oddly specific type of broken here. But there we go. Okay, Kong's Revenge for DOS. We're going to go ahead and punch Wait. Are we playing as King Kong or are we playing as other people?
We are playing as Mike and attempting to rescue our girlfriend from Kong.
Oh no, now people are moving their captures. Okay, I can be patient.
And it's ambiguous from the title whether it's intended to refer to King Kong or Donkey Kong.
Honestly, if it's not made by Nintendo, I think that we have to assume the king of the Kongs, right?
I would think so too, but you'll see some things in the gameplay that bear a certain resemblance to the Nintendo game.
Oh. Well, okay. I mean, that's fine. Whatever.
While we're doing that, I'll read some lore. How does that sound?
That sounds great. I love me a good lore.
So this is the manual's in Spanish. It's a Spanish game, so I translated this from Google Translate. With that caveat, Kong is back in town. The giant gorilla is back in Manhattan, causing panic. He is returned to the concrete jungle with a vengeance. The last time he was defeated, and now he comes to face Mike again in a duel to the death. Kong has kidnapped Mike's girl and has her locked up on the roof of a skyscraper under construction. Mike must save the girl from him, although for this, he must face Kong and his henchmen.
Okay. Wait, Kong has henchmen? What? How much does he pay? I want to join.
He has 5 henchmen, and each one is the boss of a level.
Okay.
And they are all apes, gorillas, who look just like him. It was not clear until I read the lore that the boss of each level was not actually Kong himself.
It's weird. I'm not sure I like that. I mean, no, it's fine. It's good. Save the big bad for the end, you know?
It's
Just
kind of like how Bowser ends every castle, but then it's not really Bowser.
I mean, in original Mario, yeah, that's true. But I don't think they ever actually advertise that it's always going to be Bowser. Do they put that in the promotional material? I'd assume not.
They don't advertise that, but they also, they're specifically telling you here that it's not Kong at the end of each level. Those are just his henchmen, or hench apes.
Hench boys.
They're big boys. You'll see them.
Good. I'm excited for that. Well, I think I'm just about captured. Of course, I might need to do a little recapturing later just because I don't know exactly how much of this window the game is going to take up, but we can deal with that problem when we get there. Let me turn up the audio that we have here and see if we... Well,
it takes up all the windows and the building.
I'm sure we will hear an audio later on. Yeah.
There we go. All right, so Takuri just needs to hit the number 3. I don't know why they are not doing that.
Okay, I'm just waiting for everybody to get to the game screen or the game scream. I'm fine with either.
And there's a wonderful art for the PC. I mean, they really, it looks like maybe a scan of some sort.
It does look like a scam. When did this come out?
This is 1991. It came out from Spain.
Ooh. Interesting.
All right, everybody is lined up. So when you're ready, give the signal.
I just wanted to make sure that we had a sound, and we did.
There is a sound.
Yeah, that was a good sound. Okay. Just making sure that they are all watching Discord and ready for the countdown, because I am definitely ready. Okay, all of them are set. Awesome. So we need chat to spam emotes. What would be good emotes?
Apes, really muscular guys, skyscrapers, damsels in distress.
Yeah, ladies, monkeys, muscles, buildings. Yeah, Billy Rivers. That's a good one. I love that people are able to bring over emotes from other channels and share them here.
Yeah, that's always fun. So you're going to have that very buff ape at the bottom of your screen for this entire match. So
good.
Hope you get used to seeing his beautiful red eyes.
I am ready for that.
So basically, it's a platformer that moves vertically. You start at the bottom of each building, you move up to the top. But this game has a very interesting control scheme. It uses O and P for left and right. Okay, that's fine. And then Q and A for up and down.
Okay.
And then M for jump.
I mean, that is not unusual. Like, it's unusual for today, but that is a control scheme that some games used back on DOS back in the day. However, we do allow people in general, we allow them, unless otherwise stated, they can map to a controller or do what they need in order to control the game. So
yeah, for this, I think for the authentic experience, they really need to stick to the original control schemes. They're not allowed to remap it. But this is
you meanie! Oh, you meanie! I like it.
That's kind of part of the fun of this. So I mean, it is somewhat uncommon in DOS to have that control scheme, but a lot of like Amstrad and ZX Spectrum games use things like that.
It's
and
true.
So
yeah,
since this was ported over from the Amstrad system, they, for whatever reason, maintained the control scheme. M, though, is a little bit strange. I don't even really see that on a lot of Spanish Amstrad games.
M for what now? What does M do?
M jumps.
Why would you have M? Okay. QA. Yeah, oh my gosh. QA OP. M is jump. And
that's it. There's no fire.
A plus M is punch. You have to.
Yeah. Yes.
You have to duck to punch.
Yes. And
that's
the reason for that, I believe, is that there's only one thing that you punch, which is barrels, and they are not very tall. So you need to crouch down before you punch the barrels.
Tortazo. What does that mean?
It's something like smack or thud or hit.
Okay.
When you hit the ground. I don't know if we've seen any of the more
kaput.
Yes. Kaput is the game over.
That makes sense. Okay, like I've got my hands in the position to play this on the keyboard, and I would absolutely like not worry about up and down until I got to a point where I would use up and down. I would just have my right hand on OP, my left hand on M for jump, and then when I need to go up and down, I will move my right hand or my left hand back over to Q and A and use my right hand for jump.
That's an idea. I never tried that. I use both hands, and that's how the control scheme is.
Whee!
But
I mean, you say that, but it just like how often are you going to have to push up and left at the same time? Never.
I mean, that's probably untrue. I guess you're right. You're not. I mean, you're mostly using up for ladders, so you wouldn't really need to be doing up and left at the same time.
Yeah, and if you're pushing down, you're either going down a ladder or you're crouching and getting ready for a punch.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
Yeah.
But that was the general idea with the control schemes, was that it would be like a two-handed control system. But anyway, I kind of like the graphics in this. They remind me of some of the early Apogee games, like Commander Keen and that type of thing. So they did.
I would say the sound effect does give me that feeling as well. I'm gonna put music on though. Like we need something else. So I'll put something on so that we can get so that we can enjoy our time here.
That sounds good. So we haven't seen almost any progress so far. I'm expecting the first 10 minutes or so is going to be people hitting their heads against the wall or, the floor most likely. But
understandable, yeah.
Both in terms of getting used to the control scheme and also, it's a hard game. It requires some frame and pixel perfect movement. And it's also a little unusual to have a vertical scrolling platformer.
Yeah, I mean, there is Kid Icarus. Then again, games like Duke Nukem had some vertical scrolling, although it was a lot better. But this was still released sort of at the same time. Although I believe that you said that it was originally intended for Amstrad CPC and possibly the ZX Spectrum. Because that, I assume that the style of the game was it was designed for those, and the port essentially is capturing what those did. So the bottom part of the screen is similar on the Amstrad and ZX version, but the graphics on the original versions look appropriate for those systems. They really sort of redesigned the look of it to be in EGA here. So I think that was really nice. One thing that seems to be a little confusing to some of our players so far is that there are these switches, and you'd think that you'd go over a switch and hit a button to turn it. But usually,
in fact, you don't. You just walk over it and then walk the other way.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It'll flip. Queezer trying to do it right now. Unfortunately, nope. Punching the switch is not correct. Just walk onto the switch and walk back, and that will do the trick.
Yeah,
Jeez, this fire, it is aggressive. Come on, Queezer, you can do it. Walk to the switch, walk back. Walk to the left. No, kaput!
I mean, it did take me a couple of minutes to figure that out, because it seems like, if it's going to do it automatically, you should just keep walking over it. But at least they're sort of teaching you in this early stage, this is how switches work, just right off the bat, without having to get, 10 minutes into a level before you figure that out.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So it has some good game design principles. It starts off. I mean, it starts off gentle as far as this game goes.
Yeah, as long as you learn like how to do the switch, then you're going to be able to make a little bit of progress. You just have to run and then run the other way. Nope, punching the fire doesn't work. Can't punch fire. Your hand's not a fire extinguisher. There we go. Rhynum getting the switch. Takadu has figured it out. I think Queezer is still working on figuring it out. Takadu and Rhynum are definitely both in first and second. Oh! You can grab up to the bottom of that?
Yeah, you generally don't want to.
I noticed. Yeah.
Because it will drop you. But yeah, that was a kind of unexpected thing. So one thing that
there we go. Time Wanderer, I am scared for you. Oh my gosh. There we go, Time Wanderer. No! Kaput! Nope, just Tortazo. That's fine.
Yeah. So one of the things that's not obvious is that when you climb that first ladder on the right and you go up, and you need to then jump over to the right to get to the second ladder, you would think that you move towards the platform where it's located. You actually have to move away from it. You walk up the ladder, you have to move one square to the left.
Okay.
You won't jump to the right. Otherwise, I guess it doesn't let you do that because you'd go into the wall. You also can't jump when you are right up against the wall. So you need to be one square in from that.
Now, what you could potentially do is turn on the moving platform, jump up to the moving platform, and use that to get to the other side to climb up. That would be like the speed strat. That probably is not a good idea when you're casually playing this. Because you're gonna die.
Yeah. So this is a non-trivial game. You're seeing now barrels for the first time on Time Wanderer's screen. These are the metal barrels. You can't punch those. You'll see wooden ones, which you can push, and you see glue.
Oh no, look at all the wooden barrels! How are there so many?
I mean, there's a lot, but you just punch them.
I mean, you say that, but Time Wanderer, that's kaput. Oh.
They were all told that you can punch the barrels, or the wood barrels, so, hopefully they'll remember that.
It's a very important job.
And the significance of punching the wooden barrels is that you see that there's in the bottom right, there's a meter, which is currently empty. When you punch the barrel, it partially fills up the meter. And when you get the meter fully filled, it gives you an extra life.
Gotcha. I am doing a small little check. I like to check occasionally during matches to make sure I didn't mess anything up. So if you see my mouse hovering over stuff, that's just what I'm doing, everybody. That's just my check. And it looks like everything is in their correct place. Good. I know it's good to always verify that you haven't messed anything up.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I mean, we want the games to be bad. We don't want the show to be bad. Well, I mean, depends. Depends on the game. This is a very special show. It looks like Time Wanderer manages to get the jump again. Time Wanderer is really starting to figure this part out. Now it's time to punch some barrels. Well,
that white goopy stuff on the ground near the barrels is glue, and if you stand on it, you get stuck.
Rhynum, no! I think that everybody has figured out how to flip the switch at this point, though, which is good. Queezer did die, but flipped the switch, so that is great. this game is strangely difficult. Also, what is the red bar underneath your character? Like, normally I'd think that would be a health gauge, but maybe it's just a bar of red?
I mean, it is a bar of red, but it is also progress to getting another life, which you increase by punching the barrels.
Oh, that's right. You actually told us about that, and I was half listening. Yeah.
That's okay. So, I'm expecting that we'll get at least one person to get to the end of this level, so we can all see the first of Kong's hench apes.
I'm trying to figure out what Rhynum is wanting to do here.
I mean, it may be a little bit of the... Oh, that wasn't so good.
Okay, Queezer grabbed onto it as well and got taken directly to the fire. Yeah, this game isn't exactly the best, it so far has had some non-intuitive things, like with the switch where you have to walk past it and walk back in order to flip it. I do think that the players think maybe I have to grab onto this moving platform in order to do something. No, just climb up the ladder that's next to it, and then you can get on top of it. Queezer back to the beginning of the level. Takadu going to be going down there as well. Time Wanderer, I think, is the only one who really has figured out this moving platform.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a timing thing, right? So you can just sit there, and the jumps are always a defined length. So
yeah,
you just time it right, and then you should be able to get through it fairly consistently. Although it feels really counterintuitive when it is that you're supposed to be jumping.
I feel like I've played a lot of games that have like really, really low frame rates that you essentially have to learn timings in order to do specific things, and get your character into a specific location in order to make a jump. It comes a little bit more natural to me just because I've played a lot of games that are old. And this is definitely a game that sort of fits into the... Even though it was 91, it feels like everything here is sort of archaic video game design. Maybe not the graphics.
The graphics are pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
And, a lot of the other developers that were porting things from Amstrad and ZX Spectrum just sort of left the original graphics, which weren't really up to par compared to what you could do on DOS with EGA and VGA.
Yeah, I'd say this is definitely a step up graphics wise from what they could have done and what you sometimes see with ports straight from older computers. With that said, the gameplay leaves a lot to be desired. Honestly, in 1991, there's no excuse for a DOS game to control quite this poorly.
Yeah, this was an actual commercial release, right? This wasn't shareware or just a hobby project. And from what I understand, it cost about the equivalent of $5 at the time, something in that range. So it was a typical budget software.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, with them not being a big studio, essentially it's one person who programmed this. Sure, if you have one person programming a game like this and you release it, then honestly it's not too bad for a single developer.
Yes, there were actually two people. It was programmed by Angel Alda and designed by Angel Luis Sanchez.
From what I can see, they just designed the package, though.
Oh, that was just the package?
Yeah,
okay.
They just did the box art.
So the company is called Ziggurat.
Yeah.
and they're based in Madrid. So there was a really pretty vibrant scene in Spain coming up with games, particularly the Amstrad and ZX Spectrum ones.
Yeah.
Occasionally they got ported to DOS, but they actually did some pretty cool things with the graphical capabilities of those older systems.
Really? Like,
yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything technically impressive. I just find them like pretty well done artistically. So, kind of like the ape you see at the bottom, which is taken. It's colored and looks nicer, but that's basically sort of the art design style of the original game. And,
yeah, I'm looking at the MSX and.
Yeah, there's an MSX version as well.
Or maybe this is the Amstrad version. Let me go ahead and pop this Amstrad version up for y'all. Because, yeah, I would agree that it looks basically the same. It looks pretty dang good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just that they added a little bit more shading and detail. Sure, his head looks like he belongs in the movie The Coneheads, but besides that, it's pretty good looking. A little bit difficult to distinguish just because I'm red-green colorblind. I don't really like pink and blue together. It's a little bit hard for me to distinguish things compared to other people. Not completely, but it's not great. Let me see about the ZX Spectrum version of the monkey. Oh my gosh, that's almost... I'd say that maybe even better than the DOS version. I like this. Okay, popping that up right now. Look at this monkey. The ZX Spectrum also has a lot of limitations for what colors you can have in each area. Like, the level design does not look good, but that monkey looks great.
Yeah, I think so. Although I like the red eyes in the DOS version.
Why does he need red eyes?
He doesn't, but I like it. It makes him look just that much crazier.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his nose. His nose is kind of ugly. Oh my gosh. The title screen for ZX Spectrum sort of shows, like, a lot of the limitations that they had to deal with. It's not the best example of ZX Spectrum color design, but you can still see what's happening there, and it still is somewhat sophisticated for that time.
Yeah, I think that looks fantastic.
It's really cool. You lose some detail with the faces there, but you still get all the musculature. You also have, like, the colors look smooth. They don't look like how the ZX Spectrum usually works, with colors having to be located in a specific box area here. They just used a lot of tricks in order to make this look as smooth as it is. Yeah. So even with losing some of the detail here, it's a very impressive job, I'd say.
Yeah, so I'm not clear why Time Wanderer is jumping over those barrels instead of punching them. Because there were only 3, and you also get the additional bonus towards an extra life when you punch them. So I think that's the strat to do there. But you never know whether you're going to get wooden barrels or metal barrels coming down, so it is a bit of a crapshoot there. But we are seeing a little bit of incremental progress in players.
I'm looking at the instructions. I don't see that you told him that you can punch the barrels.
Oh, it's in the it's a second later note that I sent them.
Oh, additional notes. Sometimes when you die, the menu will pop up.
There's another.
You didn't pin the one that tells
that
they can punch, then.
No, but
maybe you should pin that.
No, I mean, they were also told in the controls that there's a punch button, so. And the punching is down and it's down and jump. It's the punch. Do those at the same time.
Yeah, you have that there.
I mean, I can remind them just generally to look at the control scheme, but
yeah, every player has tried to punch the switch.
everybody knows how.
Everybody knows how to punch. It's just I wouldn't worry about it. If somebody figures it out, they figure it out, and if they don't, they don't.
I try to give pretty clear instructions to them, including everything of note in the manual, unless there's some fun to be had by withholding the information. But this game is hard enough with all the information available, so that wasn't something I wanted to hold back from them on.
Yeah, it's yeah, I would say that, like, if it would be disproportionately helpful for one person than for another to restate something, then I would probably avoid it. But yeah, there go the metal barrels for Time Wanderer. Okay, good. Managed to wait past those. Now it's time, probably the next set of barrels here. Honestly, like, if tons of barrels keep appearing for you, and there's literally no way to get past them by jumping or by going back down ladders, then you should probably assume that you have to do something else. I mean, that's part of the game, right?
Yeah.
You've got tons of wooden barrels. What do?
Yeah.
This isn't the answer. Because they bounce and they murder you.
Yeah. I don't quite understand. Oh, there we go. So, Rhinum is punching the barrels.
Well, so, perfect.
Yeah. So that'll come in handy pretty soon. Handy punching.
Yep. I would say one of the players has figured out how to do that. And that is completely up to them now. It would be unfair for us to give a reminder that wooden barrels can be destroyed. Rhinum has figured it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And has now figured out that metal barrels cannot be destroyed that way as well. So
I love it. And honestly, I think the chat had a point. You know, when can, like, how many barrels of any type can be destroyed by punching? Honestly, if you punch a wooden barrel in real life, expect your hand to hurt a lot, because you're probably not breaking it. Unless it's like an absolutely old, decrepit wooden barrel.
I mean, you saw what this guy looks like on the cover art. He's pretty buff. I think he could take on a barrel. True. Oh, and also his name is Mike. I don't know why, but his name is Mike. Definitely not Mario. I think, you know, if they'd put a hammer in there, people would have figured out that you could smash a barrel with it. But that would have been a little bit too much of a ripoff from Donkey Kong.
Yeah. There is a piece of information in here. There, a little bit of the story. In order to save the girl, Mike must reach the roof of the building. Does she have a name?
Her name is Mike's Girl.
Mike's Girl.
She does not have a name. She does.
Everybody, welcome to the 90s, where Mike has a name, Kong has a name, girl is girl.
Yep.
Yep, there you go. In order to save the girl, Mike must reach the roof of the building and fight Kong. Before that, he must eliminate all 5 of his minions. There are 5 smaller gorillas that stand guard on the way up to the building. The only way to get rid of them is to dismantle the platform they are on so that they will fall into the void, which is exactly what you do in Donkey Kong, not King Kong. The gorillas, for their part, will try to stop you by throwing wooden and metal barrels. Wooden ones can be destroyed, but the metal ones cannot. In addition, the way up is full of traps and platforms that prevent the passage. In order to pass, all the switches must be placed in the correct position so that the platforms leave free passage. Cool. Finally, you face Kong. This last phase runs along the entire roof, and your weapon will be a machine gun. You get a machine gun?
So here's the deal. This game is divided into 2 parts. The first 5 levels are like this. Once you do that, it gives you a code. You then exit the game and restart it, and you enter in the code, and it takes you to a run and gun where you have a machine gun.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see that today.
By the way, Takaru Impulse is saying that they are so over this game. I love it. Yeah, Jeff, you have unleashed pain. Okay, Time Wander punching the barrels. There we go.
Yeah, great. So, I generally don't pick games specifically for their difficult. I actually try to avoid games being too difficult. But this one was just kind of coincidentally difficult. I really like the Kusog7ande nature of it. The silly graphics, the nonsensical key bindings, the slowness combined with frame perfect jumps and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a perfect storm. Honestly, it really depends on the game whether or not I like to allow rebinding keys. In general, I do when I give a game out, but there's also value in letting everybody experience a game the exact way that it was created. There's no auto fire that's required. It's just QAOP. That's not a control scheme you like to hear these days.
It's true. If you were playing a lot of, if you were in Spain and playing a lot of Specky games or Amstrad games, that would be fairly familiar to you.
Oh, yeah. Wait, Blasphemous Roar said that this was fine? Roar, how come everything's your fault? Oh my gosh. By the way, as a reminder, new mystery tournament is starting up. I would say soon, but apparently not soon. But signups are open. So just if y'all want to know, apparently if you go to mysteryfun.house, I believe that's their website. Roar, just link it. Just put a link, okay? Because I'm probably going to tell people to go to the wrong place, and then I'm going to get sued, and then people are going to get computer viruses. That's after the lawsuits that they get the viruses, because I send them viruses for suing me. Yeah, then I get more lawsuits.
Yeah, that's not such a good idea. I'm not going to be defending you in any of that kind of stuff. You're on your own.
Oh crap. Okay. What if I pay you?
Well, see, I'm not licensed in the country of Utah, so
It's not a country.
I mean, it might as well be.
Yeah, no. It really shouldn't be. Oh, Takaru, that was... I understand what you were trying to do. You had to Donkey Kong your way over those barrels all the way to the bottom. That's a lot of blood.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a strangely graphic death.
Yeah, like you turn into a Jill sandwich falling that far.
That was one of the things that really sold me on this when I first started looking at it, is that just how bizarrely that worked into the otherwise very cartoony game.
I mean, with all of the muscles on the title screen, you gotta expect a little blood, right? And also,
Yeah.
like, it looks like the building itself is bleeding. I'm sure that's supposed to be rust. But it looks like the building is bleeding. That looks like blood.
Yeah, it could be.
Rhinem, run away! Or jump over the barrels like a Donkey Kong player. Oh, barrel to the head. That is death.
You just can't, you just gotta retreat. That's it.
Time Wanderer did put in Discord, this requires so very much focus. And while that's not grammatically correct, it actually is more correct than you would expect, because the game, like, come on. The game's not very complicated looking, but it's just, if you do not do everything perfectly, you're dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the timing of the punches for the barrels is fairly precise. The timing for that moving platform is precise. There's a little bit of RNG coming from the barrels, but I mean, when I'm playing this, I don't want to backtrack 2 entire floors just because there's some barrels coming at me.
It's
like,
true.
That takes some patience.
Yeah, but there is no timer in the game. Like, yeah, you don't, like, mentally want to do it, but sometimes you just have to.
Right. And especially in a race setting, you can put that pressure on yourself.
Yeah. And it's easy to just, like, Takaru, for example, just trying to bypass the barrels in this way. There's just no way to do that. You'll get Tortazo. You don't want to be Tortazo, do you?
No, that looks like it hurts quite a bit.
Yeah, it's Tortazo, aka death. Yeah, when it comes to a race setting with a game like this, I think most people are just instinctively going to try to go as fast as possible, and that is a problem. Because when you try to speed through something that is janky like this, not gonna work. Okay, Rhinem had the right idea. Unfortunately, you have to punch on the exact correct frame. You don't do that, you're dead. Takaru was stuck.
Yeah.
Can you get out of the glue?
I don't know. I never got stuck in it. I think Blasphemous Roar did.
Roar, can you get out of the glue? We need to know. Let us know in chat. Or via email, I guess. I don't know. Just let us know. Yeah.
All right.
Other people do note that the frame rate isn't exactly great, but honestly, it's still fast enough that it's technically animated.
Technically animated is the best kind of animated.
Per Blasphemous Roar, there is not a way to get out of the glue, so if you are in the glue, you're just gonna die.
Oh, look at Time Wanderer.
You're stuck! You're done, son!
There's a gorilla! Look at him!
There we go.
What do you have to
So-
do here?
We have to avoid that thing that's going to push you up into him.
Okay, so
And
don't get
also
pushed up
avoid-
into...
Yeah.
He's just standing there. Time Wanderer is like, why are you just standing there?
So in the first level, you get a nice easy boss. He just stands there.
And then throws down like 10 barrels. Okay, that's nice.
Well, yeah, but it's a lot easier than starting with level 2, where he runs around a lot more.
Oh no, Tortazo!
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Back to the bottom. But that is as much progress as we have seen. Time Wanderer is definitely in the lead here.
Honestly, that's pretty good progress for less than 40 minutes.
Yeah, I honestly, you can joke about this game having a low frame rate and being like everything is pixel and frame perfect, but you know the frame rate is low. Haha, jokes about like anything on the N64 being frame perfect. Guess what? It still is hard. It doesn't matter how long a frame is, if it's frame perfect, it will still be a challenge in one way or another.
Yeah.
I've learned that about games where frames are about like almost a second long. It can still be extremely difficult because how many inputs can you put in during the course of a frame in that case? Turns out a lot of them.
Yeah.
And which input will the game use? I have no clue. I have no clue at all, but it's gonna be one of them.
I always just find it feels so awkward with these low frame rate games to try and do precision.
Yeah, there's somebody in chat saying that usually it'll do the last one. You say that, but it really depends on the game. I have played plenty of games where it's like, okay, the frame that is going to be used, or the input that is going to be used is for some reason the first one, and then the next frame that pops up, it's going to use the second input from the previous frame, and you're just out of luck. You're just out of luck. You have to wait for all of the actions that you put in to play out. Have fun.
That sounds like a great time.
Oh. Coding, as it turns out, it was hard. It still is hard.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting to see a game like this just, doing its own thing. I'm putting together a little bit of a Sokoban-like right now, and one of the big things that I need to keep in mind is that, like, after an input is put in, I'm gonna have to put in like a specific delay before accepting any others, just so that the action can get carried out, and so that people don't just, like, I don't know. I feel like everything could get messed up if, like, there are two inputs at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, users sometimes do crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
Particularly speedrunners. Sometimes they put in a lot of inputs in a very short time.
Speedrunners, stop that.
So I was a little concerned that this game might be too difficult for round 2. And then Blasphemous Roar convinced me, nah, it's fine. They'll deal with it.
Wow, we're getting a lot of swearing in the Discord now. I like it.
I did warn them that it was going to be hard and that they should, be aware that even if they feel like they're struggling, everybody's going to be struggling with this. So
yeah, that's an important thing to keep in mind. If you're suffering, everybody else is suffering. You know what? I've been listening to that song for way too long. Let's skip to the next one. By the way, I do have to ask, what are the stakes for this match? How are the players doing in Kusog7ande?
this is a 7-point match, so everybody, I guess, came in second place.
Yeah, as long as they don't rage quit during this match, they will get a round 3 game. It's been I don't know if we've ever had an actual rage quit in the middle of a match, but we've had rage quits after matches. I don't know if anybody has rage quit because of your games, Jeff, but they have because of mine.
People like my games generally. I mean, they're strange, and they don't always look like, games or designed well or have controls, but like they generally have something.
Right, I've accidentally jumped straight up.
And one thing I'll say, I rarely pick boring games.
Yeah, at this point, I would say, like, I'm not really bored watching this. Like, it's not the most interesting game in the world, but at the same time, like, I know that whoever's screen I'm watching, there's very likely to be death very soon. Like with Time Wanderer right there. I thought Time Wanderer, you know, you're lined up to get all of the jumps, and then just the last one had a slightly incorrect input.
So I'm not sure yet where the players other than Time Wanderer, how far they've gotten to.
I don't know.
Seems like all about roughly the same place.
Yeah, I still feel like we're gonna have more people make it to the monkey.
I think so.
Yeah, by the way, nobody is getting eliminated by this game. They're just getting to suffer. And whoever comes in last, you know, they'll have some work to do in order to stay in Kusog7ande at that point. But, seriously, anyone here could still make it into the bracket. Oh my gosh, it's just so rude. Jeff, you know, honestly, if I'm playing in a tournament, I'm playing bad games in a bad game tournament, I sort of want to get sort of a legendary bad game. And this is sort of reaching that state of, like, this is not too bad for Kuso, but it's like, if I had to play this, I would be laughing so hard because of how absolutely ridiculous this is. And then I would be yelling so hard because of how ridiculous it is. And then I might be Takaru, who is, after every death, complaining in Discord now. And when you see people complain in Discord, like, over and over again, that means that this game is bad. This game is very, very bad. Yeah, they're saying not even allowing control remapping would save this game, and I kind of love that. Yeah, like, the control scheme that you're making them use is not kind, but considering that it's the original intended control scheme, yeah, it's rude.
Yeah, but you know, this is still one of the better games in my list. It's one of the harder games for sure.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of the stuff I have coming later on is really a lot worse.
That's kind of amazing.
Right? You'd think that by this point I'd have run out of things, but...
Yeah, Jeff, like, here's the deal. There are times that I think, like, there's no way anybody could have any joy with this game that you give out, and then suddenly somebody is speedrunning it, and I'm like, why did you do that? Queezer, I think Queezer made the jump, and just because of the stupid control scheme, accidentally went and died. Oh...
Yeah, I mean, people generally seem to either like the game that I have or feel so cheated by it that they just out of spite want to continue playing it.
I feel like... Well, Queezer unfortunately falling there. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I did accidentally... I don't know if it was necessarily accidentally, and I don't know how serious Author Blues is about beating the game that I gave him last night on the Hotfix Grudge match. We got to play Koneko Monogatari, The Adventures of Chatran, the Milo and Otis game that we've had on Kusog7ande before, and he's like, oh yeah, I have to beat this game now, and I'm like, I'm not like, you say that, but honestly the next day you might have an awakening and be like, no, I actually like owe you nothing, bro Sencha. And like, I'm surprised that we don't have people do that quite as often. With that said, Time Wanderer, this is looking good. Can flip the switch. Yeah, okay.
All right. Okay. That is my favorite message for beating a boss.
Okay.
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 I'm so glad we got to see that.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Time Wanderer, just trying to figure out this switch puzzle and managing to get it relatively quickly. Very nice. And that's not a platform. You're dead. I saw that coming a mile away. I'm like, Time Wanderer's just gonna try to walk over that, isn't he? Yeah, he is.
So good.
This game is not good, no, but it makes me happy.
Yeah. Now, this is a game where there is one very short attempt on YouTube to play the DOS version. There's about 6 minutes, and the person just dies over and over and then quits. But somebody did actually play through the whole Amstrad version.
This game makes me so happy. I have to laugh. Somebody played through the whole Amstrad version?
Yeah, and gives commentary throughout it, and it's like, I may sound calm, but this is extremely frustrating.
Yeah, understandable. Have a nice day. What I would say.
But that is that is a thing. You know, I really hope that this DOS version gets some more attention, because it's, I don't know, I really like how it looks. It would be really neat to see a
What do those switches do? There were 2 switches there, but no indication about what they do. I'm very concerned.
The switch puzzles get a little bit more complicated as you
That's
go through.
not like your Time Wanderer is gonna have to climb up to see like what could potentially be affected by those switches, and then possibly have to backtrack all the way. I don't like this. I am not a fan. Takaru says the monkey can have the girl, and yeah, I understand that feeling. Honestly, I'm cool with that. Keep her. There are plenty of ladies in this world. But then again, like, as the manual says, this is Mike's girl. Actually, no, it doesn't even say it's Mike's girl. It just calls her the girl. So, what obligation do we have to save her? Other than we saw her get kidnapped. Just because you see somebody get stolen by a giant monkey, does that mean you have to save them?
There is a thing in the lore that I posted much earlier in the Discord match that says Kong has kidnapped Mike's girl.
Okay, so it is Mike's girl. I would say that if you are in a relationship with her, you're contractually, well, maybe not contractually, but you should be obliged to save her. It's only fair, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
And if you don't, then you have now left the realm of being a good person. You're at least neutral at that point, possibly changing to evil, but at least neutral, you know? Your own morality alignment shifts because of that single decision.
Yeah, but I could see people getting, Mike going through the whole thing and then deciding he's more interested in Kong than he is in the girl.
Okay, that's a different discussion.
I just feel like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I would say that if you, like, that's one of the primary benefits for being in a relationship. If you get kidnapped by a giant monkey, they have a moral duty to help you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I guess you have to take sides at that point.
Yeah. I mean, come on, like, Justin, giant monkey kidnaps you. I'm gonna come try to help. If he kills me, big deal, I tried. Big barrel Portazes me. I tried.
If you got kidnapped, would that be kidnapped, or would it be fox-napped? Or would it be ape-napped?
Jeff, literally, the law defines kidnapping. You're a lawyer, right?
right?
Okay, you've read a few laws.
Yeah.
I think we can go ahead and say that the legal definition of kidnapping does apply to adults as well.
Well, I'm not talking about the age. I'm talking about who it is.
I'm literally a human being.
Right. But
Right?
who is
Right?
it? Who is it that's napping you, though?
I don't know who's napping me. Does it matter? It's not a kid.
All right, so let's see if anybody's going to be able to make a final push here. Because I have really difficult time figuring out second, third, and fourth place right now.
Oh, yeah, we are getting close to the end of this, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. And for some reason, I keep clicking to shuffle music. But it's like, let's play one song from Kid Icarus, now let's play another song from Kid Icarus. I'm like, did you just, like, somehow manage to mysteriously pick those two songs in that order?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like,
gosh.
it's a vertical scroller. That's what you do. You play Kid
Ooh.
Icarus.
Actually, yeah, this music is super appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do with a wood barrel and a metal one coming at the same time. Oh, you can jump over that.
Yeah,
That was
it's just a little tight.
Yeah.
It's like if you're trying to jump over two metal barrels at the same time.
You just have to lose all your progress and backtrack. No, it's gonna try and jump over all. Oh, nope.
People are asking if we have a Good Samaritan law in the U.S. I'm pretty sure some places do.
Yeah, it's by state law.
Like, are you required to help somebody being kidnapped by a monkey where you live, Jeff?
I mean, in general, there is no legal duty to act. So that's sort of the baseline starting point. For some sorts of things, there are duties in rare circumstances.
Okay. Yeah, like, we do have law in Utah that if you're trying to give emergency services during an emergency and you're not genuinely trying to, to botch it, then you're going to be protected under the law.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless if you caused the emergency, then you don't count as a Good Samaritan anymore by trying to fix it. And if you're extremely negligent, like, oh, let me give CPR to this person who is bleeding out, and, like, they don't die from the blood coming out of their leg, but die because I broke all of their ribs. Like, like, that would probably be grossly negligent. I would say that might not be covered, but other than that, like, if you're trying, you're probably going to be protected under the law. So I feel like I have a moral duty to help Justin being kidnapped by a gorilla. And honestly, the law protects me.
All right, so
Yeah, so the monkey cannot sue.
Rhinum might be in second place now,
Aha!
and could potentially, in the last couple minutes, make it to first place. We'll see. So it looks like at this point, it's just going to be figuring out who's in third and fourth.
Ooh. And as it turns out, if you are trying to help implement measures to control the causes of epidemic and communicable diseases in Utah, people cannot sue you. Oh my gosh, so any of the places that are requiring face masks, people are like, I'm gonna sue you. But per Utah law, they can't. You're protected. That's good to know.
That's nice of Utah.
Thank you, Utah. I'm sure some people here have forgotten that part, but that's really good. Yeah, if you decide to go and investigate bioterrorism, you're protected under the Good Samaritan law in Utah. Okay. By the way, this is not legal advice for anybody here because I am just reading stuff and laughing. I'm just trying to think what type of bioterrorism would have to happen for you to just want to go and investigate it, sort of freelance bioterrorism investigation.
I can't really think of something where that would happen, but who knows? Anything could happen in Utah.
Oh, and if there is a child in a car that's locked...
Yeah, you can break the windows.
Yep, you're allowed to break windows here.
The more interesting question is some states have been debating whether to allow that for pets as well.
Yeah, let's see. It's just a child here. And the car has to actually be locked. And you have to notify a first responder. And you have to stay there with the child until the first responder shows up. Okay. So you can't just go around breaking car windows. You got to call somebody first. Well, with that said, I think that we are about to call this race because this is... Come on. Time! No windows have been broken, but plenty of barrels have. I feel like Time Wanderer is the only person to have made it to the next stage, and everybody, including Time Wanderer, is very sad. That's sort of the understanding that I have with this match. Yeah, Takaru, not very happy with the game. I'm not sure what's happening in that screenshot because I can only see part of it. Time Wanderer, very upset. So let me go ahead and invite, come chat in general if you want. Yeah, Time Wanderer is very Tortazo at this point. So Time Wanderer definitely took first, and I'm not sure about anybody else. Rhinum is letting the ape have the girl, so is Takaru Impulse.
Rhinum got second by making it to the hench ape.
Okay.
And Takaru was third.
So here we go. Time Wanderer's here. Hello there.
Tortazo, everyone.
Tortazo!
Tortazo! I suppose it's more kaput now, but...
Game over.
Okay. So, if what I just did for the last hour was good enough to be here in voice chat with you, then I feel really bad for the other three players and everyone watching.
I had a lot of fun watching. It was great.
Yeah, chat had a blast. I did too.
Okay, Takaru apparently on their stream actually showed them deleting the file of this game from their computer, so I can appreciate that. I didn't see it. I just see this weird, like, water bottle / somebody crying and a cat hiding underneath all of it. I don't understand what's happening there. But yeah, I believe that people did not like this game.
I'm still playing it.
Why? Why are you broken?
I mean, there's like a consistent internal logic to it. Like, dude, every all right, it's bad, but like this is the exact kind of trash that I came to Kusog7ande for.
Oh, that makes me so glad to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Jeff, I know you've got a reputation and I give you crap for it just like everyone else does, but like, I genuinely appreciate the work that you do. Because like the whole reason that I joined Kusog7ande in the first place is like, I want to play some weird random trash that I haven't heard of that's weird and makes me laugh. And this game made me laugh, so It's still making me
Interesting.
laugh.
It made me laugh. What is the most laughable part of the game?
Oh, just how, like, well, I mean, aside from Tortazo, which, like, is its own
Tortazo.
meme now.
Hey, Tortazo.
I don't know, like, I have a penchant for, you know, the sort of troll platformer type games, where, like, something kills you unexpectedly, and you didn't really account for that.
Yeah.
And I think that's funny. And this game's not trying to do that, but it does it anyway.
By the way, yeah, chat does have a point of like what made them last the most, and it was at the end of the first stage when it just said, "Okay."
Okay.
That was so good.
I lingered on that stage I lingered on that for longer than I should have, because I was just like, yeah, no, I don't know what I expected.
Like, I feel like I was expecting disappointment, but that just like blew my expectations out of the water. How are you supposed to expect that? I don't know. But yeah, I also agree. When it comes to a bad game tournament, I want something that is going to leave an impression on me when I play, and this certainly left an impression. I am always surprised, like, what people will still play after the tournament, because, you know, I've seen people rage quit because of games. I've seen people who are like, I will never touch that again, and I am glad that I'm done with it. And then I see, like, for some reason, somebody picks up what I imagine is one of the worst games, and then they play it for a long time, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you have been cursed. But it's definitely a curse that gets unleashed upon some people. So Time Wanderer, we'll have to find out, like, is this a curse that you get, or is it something that, like, you're able to wash off, you know, with some good soap?
I don't think I'll play it after today. But for right now, oh my god. Okay, so I am still playing. I just set a new, like, high watermark. So I'm up to, so did you guys see when I was in the second stage and there were a couple of switches that didn't appear to do anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those raise bridges, like several floors up that you can't see until you get there. So I'm staring at it now and looking at the bridge up that is now impassable.
Is in the way.
Oh, whoops.
I went back because I'm like, what are you talking about? Everybody else actually.
That bridge right there. That bridge right there is up because I hit a switch like 3 floors below this.
Oh yeah. I remember those switches. I was like, I bet those switches are affecting something up above, and I'm not sure what they're affecting, and it is absolute BS that these switches are so far down.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I was right.
Yeah, I figured it was too, but it's like, am I supposed to hit them or not hit them? And then I was like, I should probably not hit them because it's really easy to hit them and hard to avoid them. But then I hit them anyway because the match is over, and I was like, let's see what it does. And now I'm mad at it.
Oh, now you're mad at it.
Well,
okay, how long did it take everyone to figure out how a switch works? Because that was it.
10 minutes at
it
least.
took some people 10 to 15 minutes, yeah.
I feel like, I mean, maybe it just felt like 10 minutes, but that felt like the first 10 minutes of the match for me as well. And so, like, they give you 1 in the first stage, and then the second stage is like, now it's time for switch puzzles.
Yeah, switch puzzles.
And talking about, like, what made me laugh, like, jumping and hitting the switch on the way by and raising the bridge on myself so I fall to my death, belly laughs. Like, shouldn't have been laughing, because I'm in the match and would like to make progress, but I couldn't help myself. It's like, that's so dumb. It's like, okay, you hit the switch, but no, your toe clipped it as you jump past, raising the drawbridge and sending you spiraling to your death. Tortazo.
Tortazo! Everybody, this has been a lot of fun. I realized that I haven't had lunch and I need to eat. Tomorrow we do have a Kusog7ande match, and I believe I will have the mental fortitude to do some Castlevania after that. But for now, I'm home alone-ish, I think. I'm not sure. And I need to find some food so that I will not starve, so I'm gonna do that. So please come tomorrow. 2 p.m. Eastern is the time of the match. I want to do Castlevania DOS after that. For now, we're going to go ahead and run away and raid. There is a furry streamer, a bat, who is currently playing Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? And I think they're really discovering if they are or not. We can raid with Tortazo.
Excellent.
Tortazo!
I was going to demand that we raid with Tortazo.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of has to be. Tortazo! Go raid with Tortazo. Apparently this is a mature stream. Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader is officially a mature stream, so go enjoy, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for all of the subs, all of the follows, and for all of the support. See ya, Jeff! See ya, Time Wanderer! Take care!
Later, everyone!
Woo!